I walked into my father's office one day and saw him and his PA in an uncompromising position. He said that I should be ready to accept that all men cheat. Welcome to Life Stories with Bussy. Another week, and I just want to thank you for being my regular companion every week. How was your week last week? I hope that you had a nice week. My week last week wasn't really a good one. Reason because last week that the news of the demise of the founding pastor of the Fountain of Life Church, Pastor Taiwo Dukoya, filtered in. And it really hit home for me. It hit home because Fountain was a church where I learned the basics of true Christianity. It was in Fountain that I learned about true love. Yeah, true love. It was in Fountain I learned about faith. It was in Fountain I learned about the efficacy of worship. And it was in Fountain that I actually learned that you could believe the word of God for a situation in your life and actually take the word of God and pray it into existence. That's one of the things I learned from Fountain, and those were the kind of things that I still put into practice now. It's been over 16 years that I left Fountain because I actually got married in Fountain, and when I got married I had to leave because my husband was worshiping in another church. Even after leaving Fountain, I still remained a Fountainier at heart. During the COVID lockdown, I was logged on to the Fountain of Life platform for my services throughout, because it just felt like home. That was where I was supposed to be. Pastor Odukoya was a good man, humility personified, focused on his ministry. He didn't have time for drama and anything. Focused on the ministry, focused on raising disciples, and he did that. He really did that. So for me, work was done, and so I thank God for his life, because I am one of those lives that got changed, by his ministry. My heart goes out to his children, his family, pastors, and Fountainiers home and abroad. I pray that the Lord will comfort everyone at this time. Pastor Taiwo will be sorely missed. He was such a good man, a true Christian at that. Today, I have another story, and it was written by a young lady who said that her father is dating another woman, and she knows, and she doesn't know how to communicate it to her mother. She doesn't even know whether she should tell her mother or not, and she tells us the whole story. She says, "Hello, Bussy, my name is Sonia, aka confused.com. I'm 24 and the first child of my parents. We are 3 girls, and our dad is our favorite parent. We're all spoiled daddy's girls. Our mom isn't a bad mother, but our dad is our G. The kind of dad that never looked down on us because we're girls. Our dad was always at all the events of our lives, school and extracurricular activities. Our mother used to work in a bank and was mostly away when we were younger. But because our father was building his business at that time, he was always available for all school events, inter-house sports, prize giving day, PTA. He took us for our swimming lessons, taekwondo classes, basketball practice. He took us to cinemas, party at our friend's house, and every fun place that you can imagine. My dad is an extrovert and my mother otherwise. While that spoilt us, mom had always been the disciplinarian. As far as I knew, they had a good marriage. No unnecessary fighting or shouting. We did things together when our mother is on leave, and sometimes we travel for family vacations. We girls confided more in our dad. He knew everything about us. When my period started, it was my dad that explained everything to me about periods. My mother just corroborated what he already told me when she came back. My secrets were safe with my dad. He knew my first boyfriend, took me to my first night party, and waited till about 1 a.m. when the party was over. For me, my dad could never do anything wrong in my eyes, and that was how we all saw him. When my mother was laid off at the bank, she tried to pick up some businesses to do, which didn't really work out. I think all that affected her. I'm disposed to think that she suffered depression. As a first child, I was there for her, showering her with love, though she was a bit distant. I discussed this with my dad, who told me she would be all right. She became better, and she started being very churchy, always going from one prayer meeting or the other. I felt it was positive as opposed to where she was coming from. I walked into my father's office one day and saw him and his PA in an uncompromising position. I was shocked. I was 22 at that time. I never saw my father as a man to cheat. He was always at home at the same time every day, except on Friday nights when he hangs out with his friends. And we girls have been in circles of his friends before, so we know all his friends. On Saturdays, he goes to the club to play squash, and Sunday is always at home. Which had never crossed my mind that he could do anything like that. For days after, I avoided him. One day he came to my school and took me out. Then he tried explaining to me, but I got more confused. He said love is responsibility and that he has been a responsible husband to my mom. He asked if he was lacking in any way. I racked my head and truly he had always met up. He said that the fact that he had something to do with another lady doesn't mean that he loves my mother less. He said that I should be ready to accept that all men cheat. Not all men cheat. But let's go. I asked if I had ever wondered how my mother would feel if she found out, considering that she was just coming out from a shell. He laughed and said that my mother is not a naive woman and that she wouldn't find it strange if she knew. I got more confused, but I begged him to stop for my own sanity. When I got home during the holiday, I used that to ask my mother if she would feel bad if she found out that my father was cheating. At first, she tried to deflect, but later she said as long as it was something that she doesn't know about. He said that what she doesn't know cannot harm her. So I asked her if she felt fulfilled in her marriage. She said being fulfilled is relative. She said that she has a husband who takes care of her and her children, a husband who gives her peace of mind, and that she has Jesus. I thought she would drill down to the reason for my curiosity, but she didn't. I discussed this with my sisters, and they said that it is likely that she knows that her father is cheating and she doesn't want to think about it. My father's PA left, and I felt a bit relieved. Not that I felt to stop the relationship, but I was just happy that she was out of our space. Everything seemed normal for a while. The whole thing my father said about men cheating made me very wary of guys till I met Kolade in the school fellowships. Kolade is a very nice guy, and he said he wanted to date me, but I told him that we should be friends because I wasn't really ready for a committed relationship. Kolade turned 25 in June and invited a few of us over. It was a very beautiful apartment in Lekki. When I arrived, he said that it was his auntie's apartment and that she had traveled for summer and told him that he could use the place for his party. When I got there, I was really pressed and I asked for the convenience. He directed me to the portion of the house where I saw baby things like high chairs and walkers and all. So I figured that the owner of the house might have a baby. I came out and I don't know what prompted me to ask him if his auntie had a baby. He responded in the affirmative and proceeded to show me the baby's pictures on the phone. That picture had me transfixed. I saw a baby boy that looked exactly like my father. I shook the feeling away, but it seemed Kolade really loved the baby, and so he proceeded to bring in a photo book of the baby's first birthday. Long story cut short, the baby boy is my father's son from Kolade's auntie. I almost fainted. And though Kolade didn't understand why I was feeling funny, he tried to get me to relax, but I told him to get me Uber, that I might need to go to the hospital. More of our friends showed up, and Kolade got one of them to follow me inside the Uber to the hospital. At the gate, I was able to convince that one that I was okay, and then he went back in. I went straight to my father's office and I broke down. I told him that I knew about his mistress and son and that I would never forgive him. The whole of July, I went to stay in my friend's house. And my father was trying to reach me, but I never picked his calls or anything. I am home now and I don't know whether to tell my mother. My father has been trying to talk to me, but as far as I'm concerned, he has not made any sense. He comes home at the usual time, goes into the kitchen to discuss his day with my mother. They chat, he eats, they watch TV, she goes into her room and he goes into his. Is this what marriage is all about? Is there even real love? Is marriage worth it? Should I tell my mother? Would our lives ever remain the same? These are all questions that Sonia is asking. Dear Sonia, I know that you're processing lots of different feelings at this time. Anger, sadness, frustration, betrayal, I know. First, let me say to you that I don't want you to take on your parents' marriage problems. There are good marriages out there. There's love, there's real love. There are people who really do love their spouses. You know that story about all men cheat? That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm sorry about the way that your parents have portrayed marriage to you. What they have is looking like an arrangement, and sincerely, it's looking like your mom actually might have an idea that your dad is cheating and she really doesn't want to know about it. Should you tell her? Yes, I think she should know. But I think that you should speak to somebody who they both respect. She can't be left in darkness. I know that you're afraid to tell her because you're afraid that she might go back into depression. I know. But she needs to know. So you need to get somebody who the both of them respect. Talk to that kind of person and see how they can let her know. Now, however she feels after that is a way of reacting to it, and that's not your problem, in quote. You just need to support her, because of course, if she knows and she did not know before, it's going to be a trying time for her. So you just need to be there to support her. I also want to say that you cannot throw the baby away with the bathwater, meaning that you cannot just crucify your father like that. Like you said, this man loved you. You guys love him. Yes, he's betrayed you, and I know that it will take a while for you to really forgive him. But always know that men are men at their very best. Your father is human, and he has done what he has done, and at a point in life you have to forgive him. Now, they have not portrayed marriage to you in a proper way. Marriage is beautiful, especially when you're with the right person. A lot of us come from dysfunctional families, and a lot of us had to retrain ourselves. Someone like me, I came from a home where my parents were separated when I was little, and I grew up with my mom. And because I grew up with my mom, I became a boss lady of some sort. As far as I was concerned at that point, I didn't need a husband. I didn't need a husband because my father wasn't always in my life. So I felt like I didn't need a husband. I felt like, look, all I needed was children and I'll be fine. Okay. And it took me attending a lot of the programs of the single and married ministry of Fountain of Life. That's one of the reasons why I said Fountain has helped me a lot. Going for those programs helped me a lot. Then, Pastor Bimbo would tell us a lot of things about how you can be a good woman, how you can attract love and things like that. And, I started retraining myself. I think you need to talk to a therapist so that you can push this all out. I don't want you to hold any grievance against your father or anything. I want you to put all this in proper perspective. I need you to process your feelings. I need you to be able to set boundaries and rebuild bonds. So you need to do all that. So marriage is beautiful. Do not run away from marriage. You need to talk to a therapist. Marriage is beautiful, especially when you are married to your friend. I don't know what sort of arrangement your parents have, because it looked as if they had settled and they were just cohabiting. Marriage is more than cohabiting. It looked as if they were just cohabiting for the sake of their children. It's not like I'm siding your father in any way. It's possible that things have gone wrong that you don't know anything about. So you need to keep an open mind. You need to forgive about a point. Your mother needs to know, yes. Get somebody that the both of them respect and try to talk to the person so that the person can break the news to her. I mean, it's very important. This one is not just that he has a side chick, he has a baby mama outside. So that one has redefined situations. It wasn't a situation of just catching him in an uncompromising manner with a PA. Now it's a function of somebody has his child, and you don't even know how many women have his children outside there. What is important is that you don't take your parents' marriage problem as your own problem. It's their marriage. Just pray for them, help your mother, be a support for your mother. At the same time, you need to be fair to your father. It's not a good place to be, but you have to be strong, and you have to be strong for yourself, for your mother, and for your younger ones, who would all feel betrayed at this point when the story leaks out about your father having a mistress and a child outside. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that she should go ahead and tell her mother about it? Do you think that she should just keep quiet? I wish you all the best, Sonia. Like I said, I would always keep in touch just to know how you're doing. I've got to go. Till next time when I come your way again. My name remains Busola David. Bye.